So, hello everyone, a very good evening to one and all present over here, to the entire audience, and yes, our eminent panelist over here. I hope the audience is very geared up for today to ask questions, lot of questions, in fact, to our panelist. So yes, I have Dhananjay with me here again. So hi Dhananjay.
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, all. So, welcome to the seminar once again. So, yesterday, our team is ready to answer this question. So, a warm welcome to all of you who have joined us today for this special webinar. Find your answers, meet the experts. Hosted by the Others Academy, founded by the renowned Dr. Sankaran sir. It's truly a privilege to have you here with us. Whether you are a new homeopath or a long-time practitioner, today's session is designed to offer a deeper understanding and practical insight into the world of homeopathy. Dr. Sankaran is a visionary in the field of homeopathy, has inspired countless individuals around the globe with his innovative approach to healing. Through the Rajasthan Academy, his work has touched the lives of many, and this webinar is a unique opportunity to interact with some of the brightest minds in the homeopathy who have learned and worked under the direct guidance of Dr. Sankaran sir. Also, the experts are from the first batch of the Guru. During today's session, our expert panel will address some of the most pressing questions, demystifying common concepts, and offer expert guide. Our goal is to ensure that at the end of this webinar, you walk away with all answers and help you in the journey towards the better health, better well-being, and the best and good homeopathic practice. So, without any delay, let's start today's session. I request everyone to introduce the panel.
So definitely, I'm sure at the end of the session, as we say, meet the experts, find your answers. So I'm sure everybody will be able to find their answers. So here I'm taking a chance to introduce our panelist. So I'll start with Dr. Aradhna Chitra. Okay. So talking about Aradhna Chitra, ma'am. Okay. So she is a BHMS CCAS. She has done. She has also done her postgraduate in psychiatry. Okay. I must talk about her that she is a very versatile personality. She has graduated from CMP Homeopathy Medical College, a renowned college in Mumbai, and along with that, she's a lecturer in universities, at colleges. She's also mentor to doctors, and yes, she has published ebooks as well on autism, the spiders, carnivorous plants, and she has around 24 years of experience, of clinical experience she has. So, Dr. Aradhna, the crowd is awaiting for you, so it's over to you now.
Yeah, thank you so much, Julia, for the introduction. And I welcome you all today. I hope yesterday's session was very intriguing and you got a lot of clarity for your questions, your quest. I think our panelists did a great job. Now we are here again to take this forward again. Mm, but before that, as I have the opportunity to speak, I would like to tell you a bit about my journey too. I was really privileged to have Dr. Shankaran as my mentor, my lecturer in my medical college way back 2002. And since then, I've held him, and this is my journey till date. I've never looked back. So I've been practicing his method till date, and I know we are here to share our clinical experiences and not advocate any method, but this method has been very close to my heart. So I just want to tell you a little bit about what fascinated me, to be in this. So what I realized is that when we just started practice, it was, the symptoms, taking a totality, not very sure which remedy. But what I understood with Sir's method is that we just need to understand the patient. The whole idea, what he said, is just understand who is the person sitting in front of you. Just go deeper and deeper and go into his deepest core experience. And once you do that, without any prejudice, and you will reach to a remedy, and that will be the remedy for the patient. And all my colleagues will agree that if this kind of case taking that we take, and we take the patient so deep, all of us come to the same remedy, and then we are very, very sure, isn't it? And that actually fascinated me, because I remember, after my internship, I was called for a group discussion. Like, I was told that, there's some group of doctors who are discussing some case, so why don't you join? I just joined, and I saw that, there were around 20, 30 doctors, and there was a a video case going on. And that time you had a television, a video case going on. And all of them, by the end, came to the same remedy, you know, all 20, 25 sitting there. And that took me for a surprise. And I knew that this is the method. There is this base, there is this foundation. What makes it, and that you'll be very, very sure. So, and since then, my journey was to master this, and today I am here, um, with in front of you all. With so this was the beginning of my journey. And not taking much time, I have with me very, very senior, eminent, my colleagues, whom I would just like to little introduce. We have Dr. Charwan with us. He's from Tamil Nadu, more than 15, 20 years of experience. And he specializes in LM potencies. He gives many cases with LM, water doses, and he's got great results. Uh, then we have with us Dr. Malak Shah. He's a teacher. He's an HOD of, he's in Gujarat, HOD of repertory and organon. And I somewhere resonate with him, because we are at the same plane, because both of us have done our psychiatry in homeopathy. And so he's also giving webinars, especially on psychiatric disorders all over, and he's attracts a lot of students. And we have our very dear Dr. Prajakta. She herself runs an amazing platform and conducts loads of workshops. So you see, we all are here with the same motto of treating, teaching, and transforming. So yeah, this is about us. And yes, Dr. Dhananjay, over to you with all the questions.
Thank you, ma'am. So the first question is to Dr. Prajakta, ma'am. The question is, how can a new student learn different techniques of case taking and be more artistic?
Yes. So, good evening, good morning, all of you, and thank you for joining here today. And I'm sure you're so excited and inquisitive to learn about homeopathy, and we are here to share our experience. So, I welcome all of you, and thank you, Aradhana, for that introduction. So about the case taking, I think that's something is very, very important, for us as a homeopath, right? Because that's something is important and we need to master that. And most of the time we have questions related to it, right? So how do we, be a good in taking a case? Because homeopath is not just, merely collecting the symptoms or just, jotting down the physical symptoms or focusing on one aspect of the patient, right? What do we understand as a homeopath is importance is of individualization, the holism, right? So how do we find out and prescribe a remedy with a good case? So, what I have observed and experienced in my practice is that every homeopath will have his own, own style of taking the case. It will differ from, when the patient is your child or any severe pathological conditions are there, or if you are treating any patient who is in coma, or if I treat a lot of, pets like the dogs as a patient. So, the importance is to whom you are treating, right? So for child, the case taking will be different. For pathological conditions, it will be more, what is the symptoms of the disease which are there. Along with that, the whole understanding of the patient. And also in cases of say pets, how that every pet is different, so we have to main focus on individualization, right? So our case taking is not just cherry picking, taking this and this and this and then make a repertorial totality and prescribe a remedy. It is more of a holistic phenomenon. So it starts even with when you meet a patient, how they book the appointment, how are they talking to your staff, what is happening in the waiting area. So you have to be very alert as a homeopath and see how they are dealing with these kind of a situation and not just talking to you, right? And in aphorism, like in Organon, we see Dr. Hahnemann has given a lot of importance to case taking from aphorism 83 to 104. So all that is important in aspects like in chief complaint, the personal past history, the modalities, complete totality of a chief complaint, physical general, sleep and dreams, they have connection with your mind, right? Of course the general symptoms which are there, and not forgetting the mental picture of it. So all this we have to take into consideration. Very important step is to take an overview, what is happening, what is the importance of that patient when he's talking to you, right? So just scan the patient when it comes to you, the bird's eye view, what do you call, where the energy lies, what to expect, what to ask. Just scan it before. Your observations are also important. Yesterday we were talking about it, about the patient, their attitude, the way they talk to you. You will get an idea, some kind of a flavor of that, patient. Chief complaint. Complete the whole, the totality with location, sensation, modality, and concomitant. And exact. I think that is what we've been, with Sir, and he's always kind of focusing a lot on it, that what is the exact, whatever you're looking at, the exactness. If you come to specifically, if it is acute case, what is the modalities, what are the exact point where we can like strongly base our prescription on, and then come understand the patient completely, right? And that if you do, you will get the exact picture of it. If the patient comes to you for say anxiety, we had one case. If you just take the entire totality of the anxiety, what are the modalities, how does he experience, what is his situation, what are the physical symptoms that he gets with this anxiety, you'll be able to see that in a complete picture and then prescribe. And then your prescription will be more, you will be very sure of your prescription. Yeah. So complete the picture, the fears and hobbies and childhood, sleep and dreams. So our main focus would be to understand that patient and not just you know doing a mechanical work. Peripheral vision, so if a patient says to you, okay, I love sweets, but I'm not eating sweets at all, I'm taking a lot of care of it. So why it is important for him, that you have to understand. Because what if I'll get the disease, or what if I'll fall ill, I don't want to take a chance. So more than sweets, of course, if it is, that is important, but the cautiousness, the anxiety of this health become more important. So this kind of a peripheral vision is also important. Then in terms of the cases from where you can get some feedback from your the attendant or any family relative who is come there. So that is also very important, because their observation also matter. And always look for striking peculiar kind of a symptom, and not just common symptoms. So if you tune yourself for these kinds of elements, I think that will be very very helpful for you. Most characteristic symptoms, and it will come to you when you are taking the case at a depth. Also, what is the central phenomena which is running through and through the case? What is a central thread which is there? This, if it comes to you, there is the joint pain, if it is there, explore that at a deeper level. If there is a say, somebody will say fear of dark, but the fear of dark is common. What is the fear of dark? If you qualify that, you'll be able to, get the exact details of the patient and that core of the patient, what Dr. Aradhna was also talking about, and then you will be very, very sure of, your prescription. So that is how I look, and analysis of the patient is also important on the basis of this. And then with Shankaran sir develop lot of in homeopathy, lot of evolution happened recently. We've been trained for these wise processes. These are also, if you're trained very well, these have helped me a lot in my practice. Other methods like doodling, picturing, Dr. Preeti along with me, she does a lot of meditative case taking. So all of these are important. But for that, the training under the masters, learning from him directly, seeing him, doing it. And I think we've been recently trained for this Gurukul course. And that is what we did, the live cases, So it takes the live case, we see it, and we know what questions he's asking, why he's asking questions. So doing it with your masters in a right way, I think that will help you to be an artistic homeopath. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely, doctor. So thank you so much for the response. Okay. So now the next question we have received is for Dr. Malak. Dr. Malak, the question is for you. So it said that there are many approaches in homeopathy. So can you suggest which is the one like to start with in homeopathic practice?
Sure. So first of all, thanks to the other song and for making me a panelist. So I'm trying my best to give the answers. And thanks, Dr. Aradhna, for such a wonderful introduction. So look, which approach to select first as a newcomer? If I say regarding myself, it will be like whatever you know, you do start with that basics. For example, we know the repertory, we know the Allen's notes, we know the Boric. So our basic theme is to individualize the opposite patient. Hmm. So whatever approach you know, you do start with that thing. And again, there are two things. We all have our own state also. We all have our own nature also. And by the same way, it also depends upon the patient, the kind of patient you are getting. So these both things are very, very important. I know many doctors who start their practice just with the mind, or I know the homeopaths who just start practice just with the keynotes or just with the rapidization. I will say you do start whatever you know the best. And then step by step, when you go ahead, so depends upon your patient, what kind of patient you are getting, what kind of pathologies you are getting, or whatever the information your patient is giving to you. Based on that, you need to select that approach. So I can say there are many approaches in homeopathy. I can say there are systems, there are symptoms, repertory is there, keynotes is there, mind method, many things are there. So if I think, okay, which one do I learn, I will say it's totally depend upon the what kind of patient I am getting, number one, and number two, what kind of person I am, or what kind of that particular approach to whom I'm inclined to. So it depends upon these both the things, and based on that thing, you can select the approaches. And step by step, when you master one particular approach, then you move further to learn the another more approaches. Because what I have seen in my clinic, only just you do practice just based on one particular approach or one particular thing would be difficult for you to give result in each and every diseases, because each and every one patient will not give you keynotes. By the same way, each and every patient will not means through the rapidization you will not get the medicine. By the same way, each and every patient will not give you means exact the picture through which you can give medicine through the sensation method also. So the best thing would be to synergize all the approach together. And so it's like using your left brain and right brain together and combining the two together. I can say one side you repertorize the case. So that is what I do in my practice. In each and every case I do repertorize the whole case, and after that I will select which one amongst these particular medicine suits the best to that person as a whole. So I can say these both things simultaneously will help your patient and will help you to get a best result, I can say. But which particular approach to start with, I will say you do stick to whatever you know. And then go forward and step by step based on your understanding of the case and based on your the kind of a patient you are getting, you can move further. So that is what I can say is required, I can say. And it's, I can say, continuous process to learn the things. So learn as many approach and as many the things uh, which is available there, I can say, in the homeopathy. And that is what we are here basically. And so that this learning the new things is a kind of a very important things. So that is what I can say. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Uh, so the next question is to Dr. Aradhana ma'am.
Yes, yes.
So the question is, ma'am, how to address the acute cases with perfection?
Yes. So before that, I want to add on what Dr. Malaksha said, that, though we do say that we are, pro in sensation method, or, this particular method, but yes, we need to, develop our skills in all other aspects in terms of, uh, as you say, repertorization. That also is very, very important. This was our traditional method, and I think we all have to train ourselves, because repertory is also an art, so that also we all, it's not just that you have chosen a particular method, but the other parallel tools that we have to even make that strong. So, and the question that is acutes, yes. So I would say acutes is one which actually makes your practice, because most of them come in acutes, and your success rate, or being labeled as a successful doctor, comes more with when you're able to solve acutes. And when you say with perfection, I would say that yes. So for sticking, when you get an acute, sticking to the whole idea of individualization, trying to see in that picture that I know the patient comes in an acute situation. So all anything possible at that moment, it's a very short period of time. The patient comes and there's an acute problem and he wants an immediate remedy. You don't have time to sit and take a case long. So whatever striking, be it in terms of observation, his symptoms, something which is PQRS, which is peculiar, strange, cure. So that is what you need to pick up. Those you need to pick up. And obviously, your repertory is the one which will come handy at that time. And you need to repertorize the case. You have to make yourself skilled enough. As Dr. Malak said, I am also all the time, patient comes and my repertory is on, be it chronic, acute, you are repertorizing, you have to repertorize. So but that's an art. So when you have an acute, you are going to take the PQRS, you have to repertorize. And when I say it's an art, you need to select the right repertory. Yesterday, I think doctors have mentioned about the different kind of repertories based on the kind of symptomatology the patient comes in with, what kind of symptoms. If it's pathology, use nerve repertory. Symptom, it's too many symptoms, boning based on that you select your repertory. So then, and then even rubric selection, the right kind of rubric. So it was emphasized that repertory is an art. So make yourself equipped, use in the acutes, use this tool of repertory, the right way of using it. And after you have repertorized the case, then also you have your materia medica. When some remedies come close, few remedies are coming close, you can go through the materia medica, read about it. Also, you also have to match, very important, the genus of the remedy when you are prescribing, which includes that does this remedy include the has that sphere of action, the pathology. Genus includes the pace of the disease. The patient is coming with a particular pace, and the remedy that you are giving should have that genus. So the pace you will also select. It also includes the constitution, the type of modality. So the repertorization with the idea of also giving ensuring that you have included the genius, you have included these different modalities, and then and checked it through materia medica, confirmed it through materia medica, and then I think you will you will be able to give good results. So this would be my take on in the acutes.
Can I add something?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, as you know, Dr. Aradhana said very perfectly about repertory and then materia medica and matching the entire state of the patient. What I have experienced that, sometimes you will have certain cases where, you're treating that patient, say, for many years for that chronic complaint. And maybe, if he comes with acute, and you're not very you're not reached to that constitutional remedy for that acute. So acute is something which is a very good opportunity for you to understand that patient, because it is like everything is at a very different pace when it is acute. So it's an opportunity also for you to come to the
Look
constitutional
into the
remedy. Yeah, so that has happened many times, because you're treating patient for many years, and sometimes it's not giving results. So that is like a good opportunity what I have experienced in my practice. So
yeah, yeah,
take
yeah,
acutes very
yeah.
very
And,
easy.
and they
Like
say the sir has said that acute is actually the the peekaboo type, coming out, the constitution coming out, showing
yes,
you that here I am, pick me up, see my
yes, yes,
PQRS and give me. And many a times acute could be your constitutional too. So
yeah, and I think that has really helped. So yes.
So thank you, Dr. Aradhana, and thank you, Dr. Prajakta, just to enlighten us with the concept in brief. Okay. So now the next question we have is for Dr. Charuvahan. So Dr. Charuvahan, we have voracious readers actually in the audience. So they want to understand like which books to refer and go through. So Dr. Charuvahan, the next question is for you.
Yeah, thank you, Julie. Hello, everyone. Hello, welcome to the session. I'm very happy to answer this question. Actually, what are the books to go through in homeopathy? And homeopathy is like ocean of books. You have thousands and thousands of books to read in homeopathy. But when it comes to practice, and as a beginner or as an established practitioner, so you need to have an idea about how to make a flow of reading books. We can you can categorize the books into certain levels. So the three basic essential thing in our practice are the organon, materia medica, and repertory. So the organon, which gives you the strong foundation about principles, philosophy, the entire um, basic of homeopathy lies in the organon. So as a beginner, the level one, the basic foundation, you should always start with understanding the organon in better way through reading the aphorisms in the right way with Hanuman's 6th edition of Organon. So the Organon of Medicine is the first book which you should make it thorough. So some in our student life and some in colleges, we may get to bored of reading Organon. We don't read aphorisms in between line by line, and we don't understand them. So for that, you can take, there is another book called Organon of Medical Art by Vanda Brewster. So which makes the language a little bit simple to understand the aphorism, which has some glossaries and notes explaining certain key points of the aphorism side by side. So that book will be helpful to read the aphorisms in a better way. Then coming to the next, to expand the philosophical understanding, the three basic books as which you read in your colleges, Kent, H.A. Roberts, and Stuart Close. These three philosophical books you should go through thoroughly to understand the basic idea of the philosophy in a broader context. So where you can get more of understanding the patient, case management, whatever that have mentioned in the aphorism, that has been expanded to the next level. So this is the level 1 books which you should be very thorough in your understanding before you enter into one practice. So when it comes to the level 2, so as a student level, this book should be very thorough before you are coming out from the college. So this is very important. So when you come out from the college, when you start your practice, when you face more uh, doubts, more cases, when you have more doubts about how to approach a case, how to give a medicine, how to use an LM potency, how to manage a case with repetition of doses. Okay, so when such in such a level of beginning your practice, there are two basic books in Organon which will help you a lot in understanding and case management. That is, one is Dr. Luke D. Shepard's Hahnemann Revisited. Hahnemann Revisited. That is one book which gives an exact description about Organon in most practical way, where you can have a very good understanding of all the concepts of Organon with a simple uh, language. So the another book is with the same author, you can search in the Google, that is Achieving and Maintaining the Simillimum, where the author has elaborated the 12 observations of Dr. Kent and the case management studies and repetition of doses, selection of potencies according to different editions of Organon. So these two books will be very valuable in your initial days of practice to make your ground more stronger. The another additional book which I can suggest is Dr. Robin Murphy's Commentary on Organon, which also gives you a strong understanding with dose administration, potency selection, and philosophical aspect of the organ. So this is level 2. When it comes to level 3, when you have a strong foundation and wanted to extend your practice and make more deeper understanding of the patient, to make your practice more exciting, I would suggest The Spirit of Homeopathy by Dr. Rajan Shankaran is one of the very essential and very wonderful book which will take you to the next level of your practice. Okay, so where you can get the entire knowledge of understanding the patient at a deeper level, next to the level of symptom. So that is more important in your practice when you start your practice initially with your known thing and you are exploring some unknown things after that. That is the most important thing which you need in your practice to get an advanced learning. So, and the other book is The Substance of Homeopathy by Dr. Rajan Shankar. So this is level 3. So when you are thorough with this understanding, and when your practice is making very good with this understanding, then you can move forward to the next level of the practice by reading the books like System of Homeopathy by Dr. Rajan Shankaran, and From Similia to Synergy, then the Synergy in Homeopathy. So all these books, or whatever I have categorized, were in an order, so that this flow can make you to understand each and every concept in a very systematic way. So when you start from organon and when you end in synergy in homeopathy, as the way I have told, then this will make you a better strong foundation in your practice of understanding the patient. Okay, so homeopathy relies in two aspects. One is understanding the patient and understanding the medicine. So when you match both these, this comes as an synergic homeopathic practice, right? So this has to be done. We are going to do this matching in every patient. So when it comes to Materia Medica, the level 1 books, which must you should read, or you should be thorough with the medicines, or one is the Allen's keynotes. See the Allen's keynotes, and the second one is the Boric Materia Medica, and the third is Clark's Materia Medica, which when you select one medicine and start reading that particular medicine in all these 3 books, which will give you a better understanding of the proving symptoms, the sphere of action, the physical aspect of the remedy, and the mental generals of the remedy in a very basic and strong way. So this is very essential. These 3 books will be very useful in all aspects of your practice. So when it comes to level 2, I would suggest 2 books. That is, one is Kent Lectures of Homeopathic Materia Medica, and the next book is Pathak Materia Medica. So these 2 books at level 2 will sharpen your understanding of Materia Medica to the next level, where in Kent Lectures you can see a very treasurable, a story-like thing which will elaborate you to the it will make the drug as your friend. So you should always try to understand the Materia Medica or any medicine as your friend. This is more important. So this will take you to the next level. So when it comes to the third level, a little bit deeper than mind, so I would suggest 2 books. One is George Vitolko's Essence of Materia Medica, which is mostly towards the situational Materia Medica, which slightly touch an extension of Kent Lectures, which will give you a psychological opening to understanding the drug, the understanding the patient, or understanding the medicine on a psychological basis. And the next book is the Soul of Remedies, which is more deeper than the situational Materia Medica, which will explain you the every drug in a delusional level. So this is the level 3 books which you should master it. So taking one drug and try to read through these books will give you an 360-degree understanding of that particular Materia Medica. Okay. So when it comes to level 4, I would suggest John Sculton's Homeopathy and Minerals. So which will be a little bit extension from the previous level, which will be a new thing, a conceptual understanding. And also the next book is Shankaran's Structure and Insights into Plants, then the Survival. All these 4 books are totally an advanced level of learning, which is an extension of the previous levels. So this is the flow which you should follow when you want to understand the materia medica or understand the patient at a deeper level, where you can connect the classical or the traditional homeopathy to the contemporary homeopathy. So these are the books which you should be having in your mind to read and to excel it. So I hope this will bring your practice. If you are going to read all these books in the flow of what I have described, will bring you definitely will give you a more innovative ideas and more advanced learning in your homeopathic practice. I hope I have gave a. Actually, all these books are coming up from my experience. The last three books which I have told are John Scalton's Homeopathy and Minerals, Dr. Rajan Shankaran's Structure, Insight into Plants and Survival.
Thank you, sir. So the next question is to Dr. Malak, sir. The question is from the chat. Uh, what remedy has a relation with the silica to the belladonna is to the calcarea R? Remedy relationship between silica, belladonna, and calcarea R.
Can you repeat the question, please? Remedy to?
Remedy relation to silica, belladonna, to calcarea R.
Just a minute. So in chat, okay. So the question is like that. Ki, as what is belladonna to calcarea carb? What is that is to silicia?
Yes.
That means
Yeah.
if belladonna is a kind of a acute remedy in a kind of a those cases which are constitutionally calcarea carb, then what it should be the acute of the silicia. That is what I have understood basically. So I can say the medicine is pulsatilla, which is a kind of a working as a acute of the person who is having a constitution like silicia, because the mentals and even the many more physicals including modalities are much more closer to silicia and the pulsatilla. So that is what the answer. And along with that thing, I would also like to answer or also like to say some more regarding the books which we read, means which are those books which what Dr. Charwan has suggested us are really very good books, and that is again that depends upon the level. So I would like to share one of my experience, why we should read all these books. Dr. Charwan has suggested so many books together. So one will get confused कि अरे एक simple एक और दो book तो we cannot even complete the things. Why so many books are there? So for that thing, to answer this thing, I would like to share my experience. In, I can say, my early days of my practice, I have found one particular case of a psoriasis and of a boy and who has having a psoriasis. But when I take his case, that case turned to be a longest case of my life. I have taken 3 hours session of a one session, and I need to take 3 to 4 hours sessions per session, and I need to take 3 to 4 sessions. So this whole case lasts around 8 to 9 hours for that what to understand that particular case. The issue is that particular boy just give me some one word and then just goes within and then just close his eyes and just goes within. Then after 40 or 45 minutes of pause, again he come back. So that is what he say, that is again I have a problem. Even during exam, I just write and just suddenly what happens to me, I just go into my own world, and then even though I know the answer, I would not be able to come out. And because of in spite of knowing the all the answers, during the examination, I would not be able to finish the things. So when I ask him further, just describe your experience in that when you are within, he told me that experience is so serene, so peaceful, that I really do not want to come out from that particular state. When I ask him further, so you can understand 8 or 9 hours of the case taking. So when I ask him further a little bit, he told me that when I'm in, there is nothing around. Even no sun is there, no moon is there, no stars is there. There is nothing but just the peace, and that is what I am looking for. And even in his dreams, he is getting a dreams of being in a cave, and he also find and there also I find the same experience in the cave. He just be remain there only and do not want to come out. So even I have also no idea regarding which medicine to give at the end of 8 9 hours of 3 sessions of case taking. So, but I know okay, there is something which is related with some universe. There is related with something which has to do with. I have no idea actually. So I read all the books together, whatever available with me. I have what I have found in Jan Scholten's book. There is a remedy. At that time, I am just talking regarding some 18 years before, named helium, which has this specific state. Okay, it's a kind of a state where person wants to remain as it is there are and do not want to come out. So based on this understanding, I have given a medicine helium. Luckily, my sir has this particular medicine in his pharmacy in the clinic. I do not have. So, but after giving the helium, the magical happens. Ki not only psoriasis gone, but also the his whole state cannot able to remain to the contact with the world, but just to remain inside, his state go away. And then as he got better in his psoriasis, he just left the treatment. But after 2 years, when I met them, he's and his father thanked me, "Ki, thank you sir, because of your medicine, not only psoriasis gone, but now he's so much so able to concentrate whatever he is doing, and now he had got admission in MBBS, and right now he is in first year." So I will, I just say that if I do not have read that particular book, Jan Scholten, and if I do not have read the helium as a medicine and the understanding of helium as a medicine, I would not be able to give him relief. Forget the psoriasis, but the basic is that his own state, okay, do not want to come out from that state, would not be possible. So I can say there are many books to read, and it is totally depends upon the opposite person's level of experience. Hmm. So some another books I would like to add, I can say Desktop Guide by Dr. Roger Morrison. I love this book. He has written a really wonderful gem in it. Another book would be, of course, Murphy's Materia Medica. Even Dr. George Vithulka's Essence of Materia Medica. Even I can say the Genus of Homeopathic Remedies by Dr. Gunwante. So all these books are a kind of a books which we read day in day out, and I can say in each I would like to refer all these Materia Medica, Fatak's Materia Medica, Borik's Materia Medica, in day out to all my I can say before prescribing any remedy. So be not be become a prejudice even regarding any specific books. Depends upon whatever kind of information you want, you select the book. So that is what I can add with whatever Dr. Charuhan has suggested. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Malak. So we could see there is a buzzing question here coming up, like how to study Materia Medica. So to answer this question, I would request Dr. Aradhna to come in and answer this most awaited question and the repeated question actually. Dr. Aradhna?
Yeah, I'm in mute. Sorry. Yeah. So yes, studying Materia Medica. Yeah. So before I say what we do, I would take you back to all of you to our college times. Do you remember when I remember my first year and we used to have this this book Dubé, you remember? And we were like, before the exams, we used to keep mugging up the remedies, the symptoms. This is of the, you know, the physicals. The one remedy has all these characteristic, and then the physicals, and you're mugging up. And I know by the end of the uh, 4 years that Dubai was like torn into pieces. So, but now, you know, SK Dubai, right? So it was the most, I think, handy and for every, and I remember how much we used to be mugging up and before the vivas. So this just reminds me of those times. But you know, now the whole idea, the whole approach towards the remedy and understanding the remedy itself has changed. You know, the way of looking at remedies has changed. So we say that, just giving you a background, we were told that these physical symptoms, that we have, the physicals, the mental symptoms of the patient, is basically the a disturbance of the derangement of the vital force, isn't it? The vital force is expressing itself in form of the symptoms in the body, which we feel that, yeah, it is in the Materia Medica. But what is this force, this vital force? It's an energy. And today we say that this energy is actually this energy pattern of the substance in the universe, which could be plant, animal, or mineral, which is actually present at the moment in us. And that is what is expressing at different areas of mind, body, physicals. So that is that energy of that substance, that remedy, which is actually expressing everywhere. So if we understand this energy of that substance, plant, animal, or mineral, we understand this whole energy, this substance in form of its source, then what it is expressing becomes a part of it, and you can actually understand it. Like, I'll give you an example when I'm saying this. So just we all know about this remedy epis, isn't it? What are the main symptoms, mental symptoms? Jealousy. Now, from where does jealousy in epis comes? Now, if you all think about it, epis, it's about the honeybee, right? You have the honeybee has the honeycomb and it has a colony, and you have a queen bee, and you have many workers. They have their slave workers, and in that, the whole thing, what happens is, one of the slave worker wants to compete and get the position of the queen bee. That is their makeup, the energy there. So this is what we know for the fact. And this idea where one is trying to bring down that queen bee and trying to take the position is from where this idea of jealousy comes. So now, if you knew the source part of it, then having mentals as jealousy it becomes, you understand it. Plus, we also know what does the bee does. The bee, they sting, and it causes inflammation, redness, with burning sensation, with stinging pains, and that is what we see in the Materia Medica of epis: stinging pains, burning sensation. So you see this, if we understand the remedy in terms of its source, then everything gets clear. It becomes, you don't really need to mug now, you don't really need to learn the Materia Medica. Just understand its source in terms of its kingdom, its sub kingdom, and then the symptoms, the mentors, everything will fall in place. It is so much understandable. There's no mugging needed, you know. So this is what I would say, that try to learn now the Materia Medica in that manner, in the manner of your source, in the manner of the subkingdom. This is how the holistic picture of the remedy. And as you have, Dr. Dhananjay has brought up this question at the right time, because we have something very interesting for you all, those who really wish to know how to study this Materia Medica. And for that, to tell you about this thing, I would like to take this opportunity to invite Dr. Meghna, who's the dean of our academy, our driving force, and who has helped in actually, having this method worldwide. For us, it's a pleasure because we know that we have benefited with it in our practice, and now it's reached everywhere. So yes, Dr. Meghna, I invite you to please tell this exciting upcoming what we have planned for the students.
Hi. Hi, everyone, and thanks, Aradhana, for this invitation. It's just, big hello to everyone, and we are really, really excited to have all of you from different parts of the country and from the world all over. And in fact, this kind of a format of having a live Q&A session is something which we have organized it for the first time. And it's been very exciting for us to see the responses that we have received from all of you, and even from the whole team back here. So coming back to this team, as you all know, most of them are already established teachers. And the one reason that we all connected together is obviously Dr. Sankaran, as being his students and working together with him for many years, and his team. And where along with me, this whole team, we have a shared journey of being part of the evolution of the method from where we were as students in college back, in the early time of this millennial, the century, and then seeing the development of the method from symptoms to delusions to sensations, and now really reaching the pinnacle of superclasses and introduction of very advanced techniques like WISE methods in case taking and analysis. So while Dr. Sankaran has been the binding force for all of us, and we share a journey and we share our experiences, the team with a common objective and vision in mind, we felt a need to offer and to create something which is more insightful, which adds more value, and which also brings in our objectives together. So, but the first thought was we must have a name, to this team. So while we say it's Team Sankaran, but I know I just want to share a screen here, which will be interesting for you. Just give me a moment. Yes, is my screen visible?
Yes, doctor, it's visible.
Yes. So we felt that while it's Team Sankaran and we have all these names that are, as I said, they are established teachers, they are very high in their clinical practice. So we felt as a group, let us give us a name, and spontaneously what occurred to us was, let us call ourselves as spirit, soul, and substance, because this is the most essence that reflects or that conveys the approach in homeopathy that we have learned, that we resonate, and we have supreme faith in its application and success in practice. And of course, since we're talking about remedies, so we did a lot of brainstorming as a team, and we were wondering what is it that we feel would be best conveyed by us, and that will also be useful to the community. So we felt that one of the biggest learning for us is the advancement of the understanding of remedies. So simple remedies, simple polycrest remedies like pulsatilla, calcarea carb, nux vomica, the way we learned it in college, and then having integrated the idea of sensations and superclasses and the advanced methods has not just widened in terms of the width of the remedy, but it has deepened the understanding of recognizing these remedies, be it in acute cases, be it in chronic cases, be it in cases with very few sparse, one-sided symptoms, or in cases which just have only pathological symptoms. So, as I said, that having learned these remedies from the time that we graduated and then integrating these advanced methods has really, really deepened the ability to recognize these remedies as the patient narrates. Because as we say, now the way we look at remedies is more like characters, like how we watch a movie. There are so many characters and so many flavors, and like different things are happening. So remedies exactly like that. It's not like one-sided, it's not a 1 degree, it's a whole 360-degree view of understanding, and a whole gamut of things that happen in one remedy. So we felt, let us start with a very, very interesting program, which is called the Spirit of Remedies, because the idea of learning the remedies is not just a combination of symptoms, but it is about learning the deepest insights, combining it with classical and the advanced methods. So we felt the Spirit of Remedies will be a course that will be very, very interesting for the team to teach, because each teacher is going to teach two of his or her most favorite and most widely used remedies in a variety of cases. And these remedies will be taught with the help of case examples. And we felt sharing this experience is not just a joy for us, or not just a professional satisfaction for us, but we feel it will make a big difference, not just in the understanding of these remedies for all of you, because we all know, even if we have read a simple remedy like pulsatilla, but each time you read it, you will learn something new. But along with that, the confidence with which you will use these remedies by application of these latest ideas will be far higher than what it is now. So we are very excited to offer this program to you, which is in 2 parts. Total of 20 remedies will be taught to you, and it starts from 21st of November every Thursday. And the details are given. There's a website link over here. You can copy it. And as I said, we really appreciate the time that you have invested in attending this program. And we feel, as an organization, as a school, we must also acknowledge this time and your investments. So we are giving you a very, very special offer for the registered participants, a discount which is applicable for the next 48 hours. A coupon will be shared with all of you on email, and which you can use it and use it in the next 48 hours, and you will get the offer. And also share this information with your friends, your colleagues, because a lot of effort is being invested in creating this program. All these doctors are very, very busy doctors, but yet we are removing the time out of the busy schedule and creating this program as a team. Because as I said, we have a vision, and the vision is to create insightful and valuable programs in homeopathy that will not just enrich your knowledge, but also bolster your confidence in homeopathy and its application in practice. So this is what I have to say, and thank you all very much for all your time and attention, and I will give it back to Zuili and Dhananjay.
Yes, Dr. Meghna. Yes. So definitely, I request Dr. Meghna to share the details in the chat system, webinar chat system here. Okay, and the coupon code name also, so that our audience can access it actually and have a look at the course modules actually. Okay, so now let's head back for a Q&A session. So the next question I have is for Dr. Prajakta. So Dr. Prajakta, I have two questions for you.
Yeah.
which we have prepared, like picked up from the audience. Like the first question is, during acutes, like if given a remedy and it shows the results in 2 hours, so then how often further should it be repeated? This is the first question. And second question are like, can you share the important aspects to be considered during the follow-ups?
Yes. Yes. So, as much as the case taking, and I think the practical utility of this case taking, and we spend lot of hours, and we really very excited to for the first consultation, and we spend a lot of time in taking the case from all the aspects, and from all the from all the understanding of the patient, right? What I have observed in my practice is follow up is the same intensity, important aspect when you, as a homeopath, practice. It is nothing less than the first consultation. It is very, very, very important. So, even if your patient is, say, feeling better or not better or whatever the condition is, but if you spend a lot of time in your follow up, you will understand that patient more deeper. That remedy, if that remedy has really worked, you will understand, oh, what is, to understand this remedy a little bit more, you will get through your patients. So, follow ups, very, very important. Spend time with your patients for the follow ups. What we do in our practice is, very important. There has to be, an um understanding for a patient also, that what he needs to talk to us in the follow up. So, what we do, we generally give them some like 4 to 5 questions before they come for a follow up. Like, how are you since we met last, after the first consultation, or if you have given met that patient 1 month back or something. Then what were your main complaints, and how are you since that time? How is your energy level? How is your mood? What are the dreams that you remember since the last time? Not forgetting about, any reports or any tests that you have done, and any other thing that you have to mention, like anything new that is coming up. So these questioners will, give them some reminders that they are not just talking about, the chief complaint that they have, but because as a homeopath we have to understand at the general levels also, right? So this questionnaire has helped a lot, if you, tell them and kind of remind them. And then you understand what is that follow, what is that patient is talking about, and then there are a lot of scenarios will be there. First thing what will come up, that you have given a remedy and there is no change, right? So provided you have taken a good case, you have seen at a depth level, understand the patient, seeing from all the aspect, as I said, evaluate the case, maybe take the case more in detail, see if there is anything that you can do best for your patient. Also, sometimes if the remedy is right, but if the potency is not appropriate, it might not give you the best of the result. So look upon the potency, if it is, whether you need to increase, or if there is any repetition that is required. Okay. If in the follow-up, if there are any new symptoms that come, generally, and patient is not talking about that chief complaint for which he had come. So understand that that new complaint also at a detailed level, and also see if that the same state of that patient at all the levels which you have seen in the first consultation, does that match? Is it the same thing, and maybe the expression of other, other complaint that is come? So depending on that, you can analyze the case. What I have seen best is, if you're very sure of the remedy, and maybe in, say, first follow-up, you don't see any change, you still be with the remedy. You give some time for a remedy to act, to show some, effect. Not for the acute cases, I will say, but in the chronic cases, it's very, very important. Yeah. Then coming to this acute, acute symptoms that come, as Dr. Aradhna was saying, and we were talking about something very important. So complete totality, exact repertorial rubrics, reading the Materia Medica is something which is very important. Like, if children cases, you see, and they generally present in a very different manner and very intense symptoms. So that time, all this LSMC, your thirst, thermals, mentals, and peculiar general symptom, you take the full totality, and then you'll be very sure of the remedy. And if you give the remedy, and say you've seen, and in very important thing, like when there are acute symptoms and patient is coming to you, your follow-up becomes very important, because you're not meeting that patient say in 15 days or 1 month's time. It needs a repeated follow-up. So what I do in the clinic, we have like constantly be in touch with patients. What is happening with our remedy, that we need to know. That way you develop a faith with your patients, you understand your remedy, how it is working, what is needed. And specifically for the mothers, they will have complete faith on you. And for any acutes like fevers, diarrhea, or any acute complaint, they will come to you next time. If you keep a kind of a rapport with them, be in touch with them. Coming to the question of this, if the remedy in acute follow-up you've given, it has worked for 2 hours, in within the 2 hours, and if you are in touch with the patient, you will know if there is any, is there any complaints which are aggravating. If it is fever, if it is coming back, then you might need the repetition. If he's feeling better at all levels, general levels, his appetite in child case, your appetite improves, the sleep improves, the mental picture improves, then you can wait. It's not necessary that you completely, repeat the course. But if you see that the symptoms are falling again, and it is coming again and again, then that is an indication to repeat the remedy. And I would again say that, be in touch with your patient for almost 3 days, 4 days, and, help them to believe in this system, because it works wonderfully in acutes. It's not just the chronic that we are treating here. Yeah. And depends on your vital force. If you're in acutes, you will come to know when that vital forces needs the boost. So if you will understand when you talk to them, and then you will understand to repeat the remedy. Okay. Then if the coming back to the follow-ups, if we see any situation where there are new symptoms, as I said, understand the whole situation, the state of the patient. You see if these are the symptoms, which are past symptoms. He had that in the previous years of his life, and they're coming back. So it is very important that we wait, right? As per the 10, 12 observation that we have studied, that we wait and see if they pass. If no, then we need to work on that, right? Also, if there is any exciting cause, or if there is any maintaining cause that for that particular complaint, and if you see, okay, these new symptoms need some remedy change, prescribe on that complete totality. Then what you can, amelioration at all levels. If you see, he's feeling much better at all levels, but still at the follow-up you try to get the understanding what is at the level of mind, physic, and complaints, how he's feeling. Then, right, there is not much repetition. If he's much feeling better, then we don't need to kind of repeat. Then it can be a scenario. It's a big question actually, but I'll just brief it, and I think some practical tips, I think that will help. That if general, if local symptoms are better, but generally he's local symptoms are ameliorated and mental symptoms are same, or vice versa. So what we have to understand, the general state of the patient, right? So if we are very sure of the remedy, we will wait. Okay, we will see if things are getting better in this kind of a scenario. If there is an aggravation of all the symptoms, okay, from physicals to mental and everything, then we need to maybe kind of see the case, understand the patient, and maybe repeat the remedy if we are sure of, or if there is anything new that we want to do. Okay, but kind of understanding the whole scenario would really, really help. Then another can be, a situation that if patient comes to you in the chronic and he comes for your acute, it might be the same thing that he might need the same remedy for many years. I have one patient who is constitutionally lack caninum. I'm giving her, and she's with me since more than 6 years. For all her acutes, she feels better with this lack caninum. So there will be patients like that, that they will need the same remedy again and again, but it depends on their state during the acute what it comes. Hmm? And sometimes it might happen that patient has taken a treatment with you, and maybe he's not taking treatment for say some years, and when again he comes, you see the same state of the patient, or constitutionally if it's the same, you might come to the same remedy for that patient. Yeah. And if remedy is not working, we have to be very sure to again take the case, sit with the patient and see what's something that is lacking. I think so. That way, for acutes, it's very important. How do we take a follow up? It might, what I have seen experientially is one remedy, if it does its work, and if there is any new state that comes up, we will have to take the understanding and repeat the remedy in the acute cases. And our follow ups teach us a lot, I would say. So give lot of importance to it when you are seeing a patient after the first consultation.
Thank you, ma'am. Regarding to this, there is another question in chat that there, is there any general key points to decide the remedy?
Yeah, so the key points will be understanding the whole state of the patient, understanding the patient at all the levels, as we are talking about. From the chief complaints perspective, completing the entire totality of location, sensation, modality, and concomitant. Then in acutes, you take thermals, physical generals, and then in pathological complaints. Also at the level of mind, then sleep, dreams. All of this gives an understanding of your patient. So these all things are important, which is given in the uh, our organon of medicine, and many of our masters, we have learned from them that all these things are important when you are prescribing for your patient.
Okay,
Thank you.
doctor, thank you. So the next question is for Dr. Charu Vahan. So, doctor, the question is like, why does it happen that once a remedy prescribed does not bring out any change, but next time when the same remedy is prescribed, it starts showing result? Why does this happen, Dr. Charu Vahan?
Yeah, it's a good question that most of the practitioners will be facing this in the follow-up sometimes. Um, it involves many criterias. So when you prescribe a remedy, when you make your first prescription, so what all the changes you can expect from the patient after your prescription? One can be an improvement, other can be there is no improvement, and the third thing will be or any aggravations. So these three are the basic things which we can expect after an prescription. So this question is that when you prescribe a remedy for a first time, it is not working. So what you should do at that time? So you should again retake the case, whether reassess the case whether the remedy what you have prescribed is the correct simillimum or not. So if the remedy is the correct simillimum, say for instance, you are prescribing a patient arsenicum album 30, then it is not working. If you are giving one dose, it is not working. There is no change in the patient, and there is no aggravation in the patient, and there is no change. The thing is very standstill. the patient's condition is very standstill, then this indicates that the medicine is correct, but there should be a change in your potency or dose. Okay, so where you should repeat the medicine again for a second dose, which will bring an effect from the patient. This process involves to in the assessment of the susceptibility of the patient. So if you are giving more doses, some patient may respond good. For one dose, some patient may respond very good. So this assessment should be done before your prescription. So the reason why the medicine acts in the second dose is the patient's vitality needs multiple doses of remedies to elicit the response. So that is why when the medicine is given in the second dose, it is working. Hope I have answered your question.
Yes, doctor. Yes, yes.
Thank you, sir. So the next question is to Dr. Aradhana ma'am. How do you view the evolution of Dr. Sankaran's sensation method and how it has impacted modern homeopathic medicine?
Oh, so you asked me how do you view the evolution of Dr. Shankaran's method? So I think I would say Dr. Shankaran's method has been a breakthrough for all of us. Uh, as I said earlier too, that it has changed the way now we are looking at remedies. Remedies have become more understandable. We now understand why there are these symptoms there in the patient. Why is he having these kind of mental symptoms? It's more at understanding level. We now know why a patient has a particular dream, why he has a particular hobby. So this his evolution has helped us to understand and give a holistic view to our remedies, understanding the remedies, and we are able to now know them through the kingdoms, through sub kingdoms, and that has been a very very interesting aspect of learning the remedies through this aspect. And then so this we call it as a system, right? This what he has developed, that understanding the remedies through the kingdoms, through the sub kingdoms, through the miasm, is what we call as a system. And when we club this system with our traditional, the idea of the symptom totality, taking the repertorization and the rubrics, the characteristic symptoms, the keynotes, with have matching the genius, when all these three, which we call as synergy, when we do that and it comes to that remedy, then we are very 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 sure of of our prescriptions. And that gives us that, the sure footedness of and obviously the remedy will work, and we see the efficacy of the remedies working. And I feel this method, if we follow it to the core, we are so very sure by the end that this is the remedy. And uh, and that's the conviction we have. And I think because of that, today we as homeopaths can really treat those cases which, according to me, many even the modern medicine fields have failed. Like, I know so many cases which has been referred to me, cases of psoriasis, where the patients are suffering and the only thing that they have is steroids to give. But if we have taken the case to this way of the way Sir has evolved with his ideas, and if we imply that and take the case that way, we are definitely very sure that the remedies will work, and we will help these chronic cases. And so many of them I have helped, those cases which seemed so tough, so difficult. We've been able to. And when you say that how it has impacted the practice. So I know that there have been cases where patients have just come and saying that, we have used these acutes, we have used this sulfur, we have used this this graphitis, but there is no help, and then they come to us and they come with so much of hope. And after using all these remedies, and when we put this whole system, we analyze the patient through this system, is and when you come to the remedy, you see you will make a difference, you will treat that patient, and the patient is helpful. So I feel that our success rates have increased to a great extent. And I would also add on that it has also helped us to prescribe certain remedies which probably have been less proved. But when we come through this method, like I have used now, probably there are certain remedies which would not have been in our Materia Medica to a very great, because they've not been proved. Like I'll get an example of lac equinum. I have I there have been 2 or 3 cases who have come up with eczema, and when I took the case in detail, I knew that this is lac equinum for sure. And by the end I knew that it is, and uh, it has helped, and I know it will help. In fact, there was a time where there were like one of the case I gave her, and she, within 2 days, she told me that doctor, I don't think it is helping, it is the same. But I knew, though, yes, there are, when we are prescribing these remedies which may not have a lot of proving done, so the Materia Medica is not so much, but still, because of the conviction of knowing and understanding it through this concept, I told the patient that no, just wait, call me after, just wait and call me after maybe 10 days, and I know for sure that after 10 days she will be fine. And it turns out to be true. So this is what I would say, that it has widened also our horizon in terms of prescriptions. It has given us more of confidence, helped us to treat chronic cases, and obviously our success rates have gone definitely up. So all thanks to Sir and his work, and that he has contributed with us.
Thank you, Dr. Aradhna. So we have the next question for Dr. Malak. So, Doctor, the question for you is like, is the understanding of miasm given by Dr. Hahnemann and Dr. Sankaran the same? Could you just share your insights on this?
Yes, sure. So, miasm given by Dr. Hahnemann, and the understanding basically, and the understanding of miasm given by Dr. Shankaran is not the same, a bit different. What Dr. Hahnemann has done, or if I say regarding the discovery of the miasm, if you read I can say the theory of chronic disease written by Dr. Hahnemann, what he has done, what he has observed in his clinic, okay, while he was practicing homeopathic practice, over a period of time, what he has observed in his patients, that okay, even in spite of taking the best totality of symptoms, he would not be able to give totally cure to his patients. So at that time, he just took the whole history of that patient, even the history of, I can say, their fathers and mothers and the forefathers in much more depth. And what he has found, that there is some basic block is there to him, to which he has termed miasm. I can say a causative factor for the production of such kind of chronic disease, which is responsible for the maintaining of such kind of chronic diseases. And based on his observation, he has derived 3 basic miasm. Okay, if the causation is because of the itch, sora, either in that particular patient, suppression of sora or the suppression of itch or scabies, or even in his father or mother, means to the parents, if any disease happens after this suppression of itch, he has termed all those symptoms which occurs after the suppression of itch into the sora. And another category, what he has found is, if any suppression occurs at the warts level or at the venereal disease level, and the causation because of the suppression of the venereal disease, or I can say the sexual transmitted diseases, and after the, whatever the disease comes in that particular patient, it is because of either because of the psychotic miasm or because of the syphilitic miasm. If the symptoms are like a warts, then it has to do with the psychotic miasm. If symptoms are like a kind of a chancre, or the, I can say destruction or the ulcerations, then it has to do with the syphilitic miasm. So understanding of the miasm, according to Dr. Hahnemann, is causation based. Okay, what are the cause for the production of this particular disease in that particular patient? And if I say regarding the understanding of miasm by Dr. Shankaran sir, for that thing, I would surely recommend you all read a book written by Dr. Shankaran, Substance of Homeopathy, in which he has given in-depth understanding how he has derived this understanding of miasm. So, if I say the understanding regarding the Dr. Shankaran's miasm, it has to do with how that particular person cope up with the situation, how that particular person cope up with the pathology he is having. So, depends upon the coping up mechanism. He has divided, I can say there are mainly 10 kind of coping mechanisms which he has derived. Okay, maximum 10 kind of coping mechanism is possible for any of the person in the world, named acute to sora to psychotic to syphilitic, and the in between miasms, like between acute and sora, he has written the typhoid miasm. He has suggested the typhoid miasm, which has to do with the a kind of a quick thing to do. By the same way, miasm between acute and the psychotic, he has suggested the malarial miasm. Between sora and psychotic, he has suggested the ringworm miasm. Between psychotic and the syphilitic, he has suggested tubercular miasm, cancer miasm, leprous miasm, and lastly, the syphilitic miasm. So, what all these are, these 10 miasms suggested, they suggested the coping mechanism of that particular person in that given pathology. So, it doesn't mean that particular person must have that particular pathology in order to prescribe medicine according to Dr. Rajan Shankaran. For example, if I need to prescribe medicine for that particular person who has having a severe throat pain, but if he says that, okay, please give me something regarding this throat pain, otherwise I am having a severe fear of having a cancer, I might die because of this throat pain, because I am having a fear of cancer. Now this anticipation elements from that something big is going to happen has to do with the psychotic miasm. So here I need to give, so this is the way person cope up with the pathology, his own coping up mechanism with the pathology. So depends upon the coping up mechanism. I will select miasm in Dr. Shankaran sir's understanding, while the miasm given by Dr. Hahnemann has to do with the causation behind the that particular expression of the symptoms. So of course they both are quite different in understanding and also I can say the application. So that is what my answer is, I can say.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So the next question is to Dr. Prajakta, ma'am. Uh, It is from the chat box. When there is exacerbation in chronic case, we must treat it with the remedy for that exacerbation. My question is, can we combine it with the chronic constitutional remedy or perhaps a nosol that we have prescribed?
Okay, so in the chronic cases, you're treating that patient, say, for many years, and you are very sure of your remedy, the constitution remedy that you're giving it. And if there is an exacerbation or aggravation of the complaint that comes up, as we were already talking about, again we have to understand from all the aspects that that aggravation, if it is of the same complaints, still is the remedy, which is the constitutional remedy that you're giving, it is the same kind of a state of the patient and the symptoms that you've been treating with. If you think that you see that this is the same kind of a state of the patient, what I do, I generally repeat the constitution remedy. This is an indication where you can repeat your constitution remedy. What I've seen in the practice, that if you're repeatedly you've given the right potency, you've given the repetition of that constitution remedy for that exacerbation, and it's not helping that patient, then maybe the increase in the potency can also help your patients. Third aspect, that well selected remedy based on all the all the aspect of holism and individualization, if it is not help, in few of the cases I've seen, if there is an one dose of an inosode or anti-miasmatic remedy has helped few of my patients, and then the repetition of the constitutional remedy has given the best of the result. So it varies from case to case, but understanding the state of the patient and what that patient is going through, I think that will lead you for this kind of prescription. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, doctor. Okay. So actually, the next question is for Dr. Charu Vahan, and I would request Dhananjay to ask the next question to Dr. Charu Vahan.
Yes, ma'am. The question is, after a treatment of an acute illness from which the patient has failed 2 or 3 times, and we gave a remedy example as a Kali microbe and got cured, can we then give the characteristic remedy that the patient is, example, lycopodium, so that the immune system is raised?
Yeah. So actually, this question consists of many different components. That one is, when you prescribe a remedy for an acute case and it fails. So at this point, when a remedy given for a patient and when it is not working or it fails, then which indicates, the indication is that the remedy is not the correct similimum. So it is not the similimum. So at this point, you should definitely need to find the similimum for that particular case with a different approach or by retaking the case. Okay. So the second point, when the patient vitality is low after a prescription which has been failed, which means that it is a wrong prescription. So technically, it will drain up the patient's vitality. The patient will be at a low vital level. So at this point, when you prescribe a right remedy, which is the similimum, according to the case presentation, so it will automatically improve the immunity and also the condition of the patient. So there won't be any need to prescribe a separate remedy to improve the immunity of a patient. So this is a genuine kind of homeopathic practice where you should learn that there are only two types of medicine in homeopathy practice. One is the similimum, and other one is the not similimum. So you should be very clear when you are prescribing a remedy, and you should be very sure in choosing a remedy with correct symptoms as a similimum. So that's the answer.
Thank you, Dr. Charukaman, for your response. So the next question is for Dr. Aradhna. So, Dr. Aradhna, the question is for you. Like, what is your perspective on the current global acceptance of homeopathy, and how do you see its future on integrative medicines?
Oh,
So,
wow, it's a
please share your
very
insights on this.
Yeah, it's a quite general question, but yes, very very important, because right now, as you ask me, what is your perspective on the current global acceptance? I would say that it's really very much globally accepted right today, and I can say it with conviction. That it has been accepted by most of the modern medical field professionals, and I can say that because I've been working in a hospital which has many doctors, physicians of different fields with different specializations, and believe me, most of them they have approached me personally, referred patients, and not just that, so many of them they have come up with their family members asking treatment in homeopathy. So that's been like obviously an achievement, that that these doctors are approaching us. I remember one of the pediatrician, I mean, just naming a few, one of the pediatrician, she called me, and she's been quite famous, and she called me and she's like, Aradhna, I'm fed up of giving antibiotics to my daughter, and I no more want to give her that, and she's got loads of acne. Please, I'm handing over my daughter to you. You please ensure and see that she her acne is fine. Then similarly, I remember out of just outside my OPD, one of the physician with her family, she was sitting. I thought probably she's waiting for someone, and I realized that she comes in and she says the similar thing. I'm handing my daughter to you. She's having urticaria past 6 months. Allegras are not working. The attracts has stopped, and I no longer want to abuse my child with steroids. That was her words. I don't want to abuse my child with steroid. Please ensure that her urticaria is gone. And with that conviction, and we have the conviction now that we can help them, and they come to us. So if they all of them realize, most of them, how what is the efficacy of our medicines, and you really feel very good. You feel, our field, our medicine has been accepted globally by all of them. I wouldn't stop talking about it, because I was in a lift and I heard two dermatologists, they're talking that, after the procedure, did you give arnica? You know, so you see, it's become so prevalent, and people understand the value. Especially doctors coming to me during dengue time. Yeah, all of them calling me. Do you please? We need papaya tincture, mother tincture from you. For gallstones, they don't have medicines, and they approach you and they say, you have medicines, we have nothing for gallstones. So we have an edge over it, and there is now an overall acceptance. And when you talk of integrative, yes, there is a realization with the other field of medical field professionals, where they feel that having homeopathy with their treatment is going to help their patients. Like, for example, in Kanpur, there is one center, autistic center, where this lady gives all these occupational therapies, speech therapies, but she ensures that every patient of hers is taking homeopathy, because she knows that with having homeopathy and her therapies is going to make a difference, will help her patients faster, more better. So it is started to have a great global acceptance, and I think we all should feel proud today that that we have kind of an edge over them and can treat many cases which others fail, so that is what is my take and uh, my views.
Yeah, can I add? And as you beautifully explained, the COVID time also was something which was, an enlightening for us, because there were many patients that we treated, with homeopathy, along with other medicines that were giving. And I think I've seen the best of the result that time, and there was this arsenic album. It was so popular, everybody like in our clinic was there also, to just take that also. So I think it is widely accepted. And when we practice and we see patients getting better and better, it's our belief and our faith in, our science also help to manifest all this, to other doctors or maybe the patients and our family members. So yeah, as you beautifully explained this.
Thank you, Dr. Prajakta, and thank you, Dr. Aradhna. Okay. So, I would like to keep a open, panel for the speakers. Definitely our audience is very enthusiastic. And what are like advice you would like to give to the practitioners and students, anyone, to the budding doctors, I would say. Since we have few minutes left, so if anyone could just come up with a quick advice to people.
I think I can maybe just say something. Yeah. Okay. So
Yes.
yeah. So as a student, um, we were also at your level, and as a homeopath, we are all learners. We always keep learning. So if that enthusiasm is there within you to learn, and to learn from your patients, to learn from your masters, and from your lot of books that we said, I think learning would be the best, to evolve as a homeopath. And for me, and I think it is for all of us, our colleagues, that you also evolve as a person, when you, what I have experienced in my practice, you evolve as a person. You see that patients are getting better, so that satisfaction, that kind of contentment, that is what keep motivating us. So I think the main sentence that I believe in is that if you love homeopathy 100%, then homeopathy will love you back. And I think that will kind of keep you going to practice.
Yeah, and I want to tell all of you who are beginners that have utmost faith. Have utmost faith. You can make a difference in every case. You may go wrong first, you may go wrong second. And this is what our patients have taught us. I think all will agree that there are times where one remedy doesn't work, second doesn't work, and we may lose hope, but the patient doesn't lose hope. And he comes to you and he says, "No, doctor, you have to help me." And that's the time you realize that the patient has more faith in you, and then you really work hard and you make that difference. So I think every case you can make a difference, how much ever. And don't get if you don't get too overwhelmed, because I have seen cases of psoriasis, full body psoriasis, but have the faith. People come with so much of eczema. I can say that because you see it, so you feel it. And but we can make a difference. And if we know our method, if you know what you are doing, you are more sure of what you are doing, it you will be able to make the difference. You will be able to treat that patient, is what I think. And be with that conviction that you can do. And for that, keep learning, keep learning. And I think I and Dr. Malak Shah was talking in the beginning, both of us, that see, we both are teaching, but we also learn. So we both, there is a forum where both of us, we even go and we keep learning. And we were like, just see that today we are treating, we are teaching, but we are also learning. And till date, we are learning. So learning never ends. And that's what keeps you going and builds your faith. Hmm?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Aradhana. So it's rightly said homeopathy is something where ancient wisdom meets the modern healing. Yes, Dr. Dhananjay, over to you now.
Thank you, everyone. So I would like to call all the speakers from yesterday's seminar and today's seminar to share some of their interesting experience and moments during the practice.
Yes, so I would like to share one of my experiences. During the course of your practice, like when I got a degree in my hand, I did not know that whether I should be happy or I should be sad. It was like, you as beginners, even I was experiencing the same thing. So I got this message from one of my seniors that just think yourself that you can just cure cough and cold. Don't take big cases, start very small. So we all took these baby steps. Sometimes keynotes helped us, sometimes some constitutional pictures helped us, some drug pictures helped us. But when we took these baby steps, I remember one of my case, which is idiopathic thrombocytic purpura. In the boy was he was bleeding from all the orifices. This was a case which is close to my heart till date. So he was bleeding from all the orifices, and he used to just stuff the curtains and bed sheets so that the mother doesn't see. And the doctors even had removed the spleen to stop this ITP. And this case came to me, and I didn't know that I was equipped, but I just followed our masters and I did all the fundamental steps. And the remedy also was very common remedy. It was lecasis. And there's within 3 days, this fever, which was not coming down in spite of the best antibiotics, after splenectomy, after the best doctors, these parents, they sell their shop, they sold their shop, and they also sold their home. They were just staying in a rented, they had given all of what they had for this child. And the day I gave her this remedy, which was lecasis, it is a very simple remedy. It was based on repertorization that time. This case is, I think, 21 years old. So the mother, the way she gave the follow up, that doctor, the heat was, she gave me this symptom that the heat came from up to down, the heat came down, and it went out, the heat went out from the toes. And after that, this child never suffered from fever and his platelet count was better. And he is a 22-year-old young man. Till date, he comes to me, he visits to me. So just few doses, the doctors had given all hopes, because even after splenectomy, there was no change. So this was the case till date. When I see my child coming, I was not skeptical whether, this cure will stay, right? But when you see him day in, when he comes back with a smile, just for some trivial, he's grown up in a young person, he's an engineer. So these are the cases which keep you going. They motivate to you to burn your midnight oil. Till date, we are studying till 3 p.m. at night. I have one habit. That is my normal routine sleeping time. 12 to 3, either I read, I study, or I'm with a case. I just remember a rubric, I wake up. So these are the cases which keep you going. To start small, take baby steps. You'll never know when you'll be able to deal with this. So this is my message to you. So thank you all for being here with us.
Very nicely said, Dr. Meeta. I remember my time, fifth generation in medical profession, really never wanted to become homeopath. It was the last thing on my mind, but got few supplies in first prof, and somehow in second prof, homeopathy and spiritually got connected, and that was the beginning of my journey with homeopathy. And I would like to tell all the newcomers, the young generation, make mistakes, make more mistakes, then make more mistakes, and then learn. One day, bang on, you will hit a sixer, and then you will never look back. I promise you. Eat homeopathy, sleep homeopathy, watch movies like homeopathy, discuss homeopathy in your dreams every time. Just start living it, and it will happen. Thank you so much, everybody, for being there.
Thank you, sir. I would like to take a moment to wish Dr. Manish Jappal, sir, on his birthday. So, any, sir, advice or any advice to the young generation, the budding
I,
homeopaths, this occasion?
I just gave one. Eat
Yes.
homeopathy, sleep homeopathy, discuss homeopathy with your relatives, discuss homeopathy with your children. Everybody who is not your patient, also discuss homeopathy with them. Go to movies, talk about cases, talk about remedies, and just keep doing that. That's what your life, when it becomes like that, then it's easy. It comes easily.
And then homeopathy will love you back.
Yes,
Same way.
exactly. And see you all in good numbers in the spirit of remedies. And I know everybody in this panel is going to give their best cases, and I promise you will never forget a remedy taught by any of the people in this. They are all awesome teachers. They are all going to share some fabulous cases which will be never forgotten by you in your life.
Yeah, every remedy will come alive. Materia Medica will
Yes.
become live. It is not in the books, it's around you, it's everywhere in every nook and corner. And Dr. Manish said beautifully that eat, live, I'll say also breathe homeopathy in every breath. This is what we have been
Exactly.
living.
What I've learned through homeopathy is not just for us just practice, but it is the way we live our life.
Exactly.
So that is what the I can say big change in my life, I can say, as a person. It is not just I'm practicing homeopathy, but it is the way through which it is a kind of concept through which we live our life and which really makes our life very fruitful. So of course that is what I can say.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. I just want to thank all the panelists for being there with us and sharing the insights. And also, I just want to thank our wonderful audience who have been just engaging with us for the 2 days. I must say, we really appreciate your time and engagement. And definitely, I'm sure, as I told, the title said, like, meet the experts. And I hope you have really found your answers also. And as the doctors are saying, just eat, breathe. And Dr. Manish mentioned, watch movies related to homeopathy. So on that line, I just want to say to our audience that ये तो ट्रेलर है बॉस पिक्चर तो अभी बाकी है so just stay tuned. And I have just dropped the mail id, share your queries on that, the other song one at gmail.com. And just also you will receive a mail and go through the link and just stay tuned for the picture.
Yeah, and someone asked me how did I come to lick cases? It was normal repertorization, first year remedy. I've sent the screenshot in the chat. Just go through it. It was just a simple repertorization of few rubrics, and it saved a life. It saved a family rather. So thank you all.
Thank you, everyone, for joining this wonderful webinar. I thank you all the speakers and Dr. Meghna ma'am and the other Song Academy to make this, to host this wonderful webinar for the young budding practitioners and homeopaths. So thank you. Thank you all the speakers and the other Song Academy.
Thank you, everyone. Special thanks to Julie and Dhananjay for, making this being a thread between all the pearls.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, they were
Yeah.
amazing.
Thank you all, dear
Thank you.
friends.
Yeah. See you all. Bye.